This conference will now be recorded.
స్టార్ట్ అయింది సార్ రికార్డింగ్.
Yeah, hi Venkat. So hope you guys are able to hear me now. Okay, so is it clear now? Hope you are able to hear me now. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, Chandra, please go ahead.
Guys, you're not able to hear me?
No, we can hear you.
Hope you're able to hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Chandra, we can hear you. We're not sure whether you are able to hear us or not.
Please confirm, guys.
We can hear
Okay,
you, sir.
ready. He is confirmed. So I think you guys are able to hear me now. And parallelly, are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Hope you are able to see my presentations. Guys, I can see here almost 10 people. Can anyone unmute yourself? Can you just confirm it whether you are able to hear me or not?
Yes,
Sandeep,
sir.
Visible.
are you able to hear me?
Your screen
Yes,
is
sir,
visible.
you're visible
We are
and I
able
can
to see
hear
it
you.
in our screen.
I can't hear anything, so that's what my confusion now. Please say yes or no, at least. That is in the chat.
Yes, Chandra, we are able to hear you.
I can hear you. Then why I'm not able to hear any one voice? You guys are not speaking? Raju, can you speak? Lavanya, can you speak something?
Yes, sir.
We have got some
I can
problem,
hear you,
guys.
sir.
Yeah, it's visible in
From your
screen also.
okay.
Visible.
Okay, now. Okay, I think it's clear now.
Yeah, can you hear us now, Chandra?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I can hear you guys, but my voice is getting repeated. Okay. How to fix this? I'm getting my voice repeated to me as once again, actually. Okay, let's hold on a little bit. Good. Okay. So is it clear now? No, still I'm getting double voice. Hello? Yeah. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's continue now. I'm getting my voice repeated back to me. Mother? Correct. Yeah, is it clear now, guys? Hope it should
It is,
be.
it
Yes,
is
Chandra,
clear,
it is
Chandra.
clear now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so how can we start? Here I can see there are a number of people. Okay, so since this is a demo, maybe I won't take so much of time for you guys to make you understand. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Chandra. I had nearly 14 years of IT experience in my the overall experience I'm talking about. Here, from last 5 years, I'll be working in the cloud environment as well. Okay, so anything specially you guys want to know, please just let me know. I'm not a kind of full-time trainer. I'm also a working professional. I'll be working one of the MNC in Bangalore, and have already cleared my all the certifications related to AWS, like associate level and professional level, both. Okay, and I'll be working other DevOps tools also. That's all about me. So instead of taking so much of long time, can you just try to give me a quick info about you guys? Let's suppose Suresh, like what you are working right now. I mean, are you working any technology or not? Like your name and how many years of experience and which skill set you're working. So that I'll try to relate my examples to you based on your experience. Okay, can you do that quickly for me to understand in a better way? Let's start with someone.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Myself Hari. I'm presently working in WCL, sir. It's a central government organized company.
Mhm.
It's a marketing based user, not in an IT field.
Okay,
So
okay,
I'm probably from non-IT,
okay. So, but your job is not in a government sector. You'll be working as a contractor over there.
a contractor based.
Okay, fine.
To contact.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. This is Hari Reddy, right? Okay. Rest of all, like, can you just go ahead?
Yeah, hi. Chandra, this is Sandeep. Currently, I'm working on Linux administration, and I have experience of 3 years.
Excellent, Sandeep. So you have a basic domain, whatever skill set is required. Okay, got
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And who else? Who is the
Hi,
next?
sir.
Like Suresh.
My name is Lavanya.
Hi, Lavanya. Good evening. Go ahead.
Hi, sir. Yeah, I have 5 years of experience in logistics and supply chain management, but I have a five
Hmm?
years of career break. So I moved to US
Excellent.
in 2015. After that, I did not work. So
Okay.
I'm planning to work on
Where?
the new platform. So
No problem. Where are you right now?
I'm in US, sir, Ohio.
Excellent. Okay. Ohio. So how many years of, I mean, when you completed your graduation, like in a
I did
BTech?
my yeah, I did my ECE in 2010, sir.
2010, almost 11 years.
Yeah.
Okay, just get my contact or the coordinator. At least you might have some contact, right? Who has
Yes.
initiated the session?
Yeah.
Okay. Through him, try to contact me. I'll refer you one profile because there are some openings right now in US
O-
region. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
They are looking for the kind of purely trained people like you.
Oh,
I'll make them here already trained and we'll share the profile. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Okay.
sure, sir.
Just
Sure, sir.
be connect with me after that.
Yeah.
Lavanya, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Till 2015, I worked, and after that, I did not work, sir. Yeah.
No,
Got
no,
married and kids. So,
no problem. No problem.
yeah.
That's
Thank you,
not
sir.
an issue. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And who else? Niranjan, Sandeep, Suresh,
Hey Chandra,
Varaprasad.
this is Niranjan. I've been working in IT since last 17 years and been
Excellent.
working with business intelligence and now started using some services in Amazon web services
Hmm.
like Redshift, ESC2 and S3 and
Okay.
trying to get into the AWS right now.
Excellent. Thank you. Who else? Sandeep, have you done? Suresh, Varaprasad, Raju.
Hi, sir. Hello.
Yeah, hi. Good evening. Go ahead.
Maraprasad. I'm studying enter second year. I am not. I am a
In the
student, sir.
second year.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Please disconnect. I think it won't be useful to you right now.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you. Who else?
Hi, my name is Chan Basha.
Okay,
Yeah, actually, I'm working on SharePoint developer actually, so I would like to learn Amazon Web Services.
Chan Basha. Okay, here which ID you connected, sir? I can't be able to see your name. Okay, Chan, right? Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bharat. Raju. Okay, guys. So it is not a forceful. I'm just requesting your details, but I just want to know the background about you guys so that I'll be able to correlate some examples when I'm trying to talk about. See here, I found one of the guys an intermediate student. So if I'm focusing on him, whatever how much I stressed and tried to give the input, she can't be able to understand. That is the reason. Okay, Suresh, thank you. I got your message. I'm also in a storage and backup admin platform. I have 10 plus years of experience. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. If you have any questions, please put it into the chat window. Yeah, thank you. Guys, okay, here I can see like Lavanya and Hari. You guys are not IT background as of now, but rest of all like Suresh, Sandeep, and Niranjan will have a great understanding of the IT industry as of now. So to correlate everyone, what I'm trying to say, instead of going in AWS directly, I'll try to explain few things about what is servers, what is data center, if you'd like to know. If everybody knows that, then we'll directly jump into the AWS. Okay. Let me spend in a 5-10 minutes max, not more. Guys, in the market, we have so many applications is running nowadays. Right, sir? Niranjan, Sandeep, who is having at least 5 plus years of experience.
Yes, Chandra.
Correct? So in these many applications we have, but it's required a data center or server. Without having any server, we can't be able to run any application. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. And you are working as a business intelligence resource, like a VA or somebody storage, somebody like Sandeep or somebody has mentioned Linux, right? So everybody will have individual role, individual targets, like objective. But when we are working for a single customer altogether, what is our common objective? Anyone can answer it. I think Sandeep, you can answer. You are a Linux admin. You just want to make sure the system availability, right? So that is
purchase
your
the server.
objective. Yes, yes. Are you a system admin, right? Are you a Linux engineer?
Yes, Chandra.
Okay. So what is your objective? You just want to make sure your system to be available for the application running purpose, correct? System patching and user creations, any learn allocations, right? Any cron
Yes.
jobs, all this stuff you will take care of it. That is your objective, to make sure if something is required, somebody from an OS team, you will be the contact point, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
suppose
Yes.
I am an application guy and Niranjan is our project manager, okay, and Sandeep is having another, sorry, not Sandeep, Suresh is a storage guy, right? And Lavanya is a testing, something like that. We are all working for a single customer. Everybody will have individual roles, but all together, what is our common objective? Hope you understand my question. Okay, so the answer is we have to maintain the customer to be happy. We have to maintain the application to be available for the customer as always, so that customer will get happy. Correct? Goli Suresh Kumar, hold on. We are talking about AWS Cloud. We'll talk about data science later part. Okay, I think you are a data engineer. Okay, I'm just trying to make everyone to be in a single page. Okay, Niranjan and everyone. So we have to maintain everything to be properly, then only customer will be happy. That is our common objective. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to make you understand. So now, to do this, somewhere in the world, we should have a data center, like where servers are located. Right, Sandeep? Without having a data center, your business can't be able to run. I mean, you should have a server, and you should have a storage, backup, database, and all the networking has to be configured, everything. That physical location, we'll call it as a data center. Right? Sandeep, there is a small question for you. You have a single server, it is running right, it is up and running right now in a very well. So in this case, will you be able to sign a contract with the customer? Let's assume Niranjan is a customer. So can you able to sign a contract with Niranjan, like in a customer? Your application won't go offline anytime. Can you able to do that?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
So I'm saying you are maintaining one server. Okay, there is a Linux application is running on it. Linux
Okay.
OS is running and there is application also running on top of it. Okay. Now, can you able to give a guarantee to your customer your application won't go offline anytime? You have a single
No,
server,
we
you are
can't give
running an
any,
application.
but we can't give any guarantee. It maybe
Right.
depends upon the power supply or something, memory related issues.
Right. So there might be hardware issues, there might be any software issues, or maybe data center issues, or maybe in your manual mistakes also may happen. So we can't give a 100% guarantee to the customer. Right? If the customer is asking, I need a 100% guarantee, how can you do that? Can you able to achieve that?
No.
Then if you say no for everything, customer will not happy, right?
Yes.
But how can you
We
convince
won't
the
be happy.
customer? Okay, maybe in your experience you might have not seen all these things. Niranjan, if you don't mind, can you just speak a bit here? I think you had a lot of experience on the IT industry.
Yep. So basically, if the customer is not happy, obviously everything will be like it's like a nightmare, right? So example,
Yeah.
you was like you have like one server and accessing multiple applications, and if the server is down, and we have not any like a restoration or the DR anything, nothing, we do not have it. But we are always depending on that server where the one server is located in some place. So
Right.
that's where we are getting into the model called the web services, where it's usage and usability and getting into the hands-on experience, and we should not interfere with the infrastructure, where whenever we want, whatever we want, whether we can have more servers or whether we can have like less servers based on the usage. So
Correct.
that might be the reason we are getting into the cloud environment these days.
Yeah. So there are some other reasons as well, but as you mentioned, that is also one reason. Because mainly we can say, I mean, you concluded to coming to the point cloud directly, but I'll try to correlate that quickly. So what I mean to say, anyway, in your example, which I can say, earlier infrastructure has to be maintained by the company, but here all the infrastructure maintenance is going to be taken care by someone else. So as a customer or as a service provider, you can focus on only the application setup and the availability. In the background, the hardware maintenance and all other stuff will be taken care by Amazon here. Okay, but let me explain the background what happened. So Sandeep, if you have a single server, obviously you can't be able to give a 100% guarantee. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So that is the reason we are talking about disaster recovery data center. At least you have a backup or high availability. So that what you have to do, you should have one more server to run the same purpose or to run the same application. Agree? Sandeep, what I'm trying to say, if you are running your application using one single server, you can't be able to give an 100% guarantee to the customer. To maintain as a redundancy, you have to maintain one more server. Okay, that will call it as a
Yeah.
disaster recovery, or maybe a backup or redundancy,
Yeah,
and
it's a
we can
DR
call
server.
it as a high availability, right?
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
you have two data centers. Sorry, in
Okay.
your data center, you have two servers. Both are running fine now.
Okay.
So can you able to
Okay.
give a guarantee to the customer?
Yeah, now we can give the guarantee. If
Right.
one server goes
But
offline, again we have one on another server.
right. But still, we can't give an 100% guarantee, even though you have two servers, because your two servers are running in the same data center in this case, right? So if something happens to your data center, like a data center completely went down, maybe an earthquake or any other natural calamities, right? So you can't be able to run your business. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So that is the reason we have to set up one more data center, that will call it as a disaster recovery data center. Hope you understand. Anybody is having any questions on disaster recovery data center? What is disaster recovery? Why we need to set up? No? If you see this image, let's assume one data center, you have two servers to maintain the redundancy. And you have everything as a redundancy setup, like network, backup, storage, and everything perfectly. But still, we can't give a 100% guarantee to the customers, because at any point of time, it may get affected due to any other reasons. So to avoid or to maintain the high availability during this particular situations also, we required another data center, that we'll call it as a disaster recovery data center. So you have to set up one more data center. And one more problem which I can say, initially all your servers are physical. There is no virtualization and there is no cloud environment. So that time in your physical server, what are the resources you have? That every resource, it can be utilized only for that single application. And even though what are the resources are left, it will be an idle. You can't be able to use it for anything. Hope it's clear now. Right, sir? Niranjan or anyone? Okay. So we can't be able to use it for any other servers or anything, because it's dedicated to that particular mission. After that, the technology has been moved to the virtualization. So using virtualization, you can run multiple servers like this. Okay, let's assume the total thing is on a physical machine. Within that, you can create a number of virtual machines like this. So each and every virtual machine, it will act as an individual server for you. And what are the CPU and memory, whatever we have in a physical machine, that you can distribute to your virtual machines. And you don't need to follow the standard or anything. How much size you required, you can make it. Clear now? Sandeep, this is the kind of environment we already have right now in our on-premise environments, so that you'll be able to save a lot of cost. So instead of buying a physical machines, within one physical machine, you'll be able to maintain everything. It's clear up to here? Here also we have some challenges, because everything we have to buy and we have to build our data centers and servers. And another one more problem here, even though virtualization was there is a limit. Let's suppose one physical machine can host or can launch 100 servers or 200 servers or 250 servers, whatever the limit it is. Let's assume one physical machine can launch 256 virtual machines, and you are already running those virtual machines right now. Okay, Once you are using that, one of your application guy, like me or anyone, is reaching out to you and they are requesting you to build a server, one more virtual machine. Got it, guys? So in this situation, will you able to build one more virtual machine in the same physical machine? When there is a limit for 256, you have already made that. So what is the approach here? Can anyone say something? What happened, guys? Nobody's not speaking. Sandeep, Lavanya, Chan, Suresh, Ranjan. Guys, at least are you able to hear me? Okay.
If the limit is up, maybe we cannot create more.
Right. So when we try to create a new instance, obviously when there is no limit, we can't do anything. Right? So as Suresh has confirmed, thanks Suresh at least. So again, we have to build a new server. It means we can't create a new VM. There is a limit. Hope you understand that, Suresh. My question is, can we create a new VM within an existing physical machine? Answer is no, because your resource is completely utilized within that physical machine. So what we have to do? We have to request to the customer to arrange one more physical machine, then only we'll be able to do. This physical machine, it won't come to you immediately because customer also will take some time and they have to make the payment, and vendor also has to arrange that device for you, and that has to be delivered to your data center. Once that is done, again they have to build something and they have to bring it to your network. So what I mean to say here, there is just so much of time wasting, and as well as the resource is getting idle, and even though if you spend the money, even you'll be spending a lot of money here. Okay, Niranjan. Like this, I've struggled some time. I've created a new physical machine. Within that, I have built a new virtual machine. I gave it to my application team. They did a testing in a 1 or 2 days max. Then immediately they have confirmed, okay, we did our testing. We don't require this server anymore. So in that case, what will happen? So whatever the money, whatever the struggle we have invested as of now, that is getting idle. Correct? And when we have a DR data centers, like disaster recovery data center setup, obviously we are maintaining 2 data centers. So instead of 1 mission, you are buying 2 missions. So your cost is getting doubled, but we are not able to use it anything right now. Clear, guys? Like this, we have so many challenges when we are using a physical IT infrastructure. That is the reason technology is moving to the cloud. I mean, everybody is moving to the cloud. So when we are talking about cloud or any technology, any customer, any of the service provider will come and approach to you. Niranjan, can you speak something? In this case, when any of the vendor is trying to reach out to you here, they are saying, okay, we are going to give, this is a new product, and obviously what you'll expect. As a service provider, I can say so many reasons for you, but as a customer, what you will expect from my side? Okay, so you will expect, I think he's not there, or he is in mute. So as a customer, what we will expect? We will expect the better service, what I'm getting it right now, or same service, but can you able to do it on a less price? These are the 2 questions we may ask. Correct, Suresh? If they say, yes, I'm going to reduce the price, but don't ask me the support which you are getting it right now, I'll give a 90% of support, and you'll pay for me like 80% and 90% of the money what you're paying. But still, we won't convince, right? Even though if you ask me, if they ask, you have to pay 10,000 or 10% extra, whatever you're getting it, but we are going to increase in our performance, then we'll be happy, right? That is the conclusion which I would like to say. So even though when you are using in a physical IT infrastructure, we have these many challenges, like we have to buy and build everything. When we have to double the resources, like power, data center, and real estate cost, everything we have to bear to build our data centers, to maintain that. Instead of that, cloud computing is coming to the market. As a cloud service provider, when you say you are a cloud service provider, you have to maintain everything, and you have to give it to the customer as a pay-as-you-go model, and you should not ask anything as a capital expenditure. Once you give a service, they will start using their services, and they will pay the money at the end of the month. You should accept that. That too, how many number of hours they have been utilized, then only you will call it as a cloud service provider. And you should not target any of the single industry like a healthcare industry or textile industry or any particular segment of people or any region customers. It should be accessible across the globe to everyone, and you have to follow a few characteristics. First thing, pay as you go model. As I mentioned, like just on a usage base, not for the standard charges. Like there is no daily or weekly or monthly commitments. It's simple. How many number of hours you have been utilized, you have to pay only for that. That will call it as a pay as you go model. And on demand, self-service, and unlimited storage, and email as a service, notification as a service. One of the most important things, auto scaling as a service, right? When you provide these many solutions, at least minimum 6 to 7 characteristics you have to follow mandatory, then only you will call it as a cloud service provider. If you try to compare, guys, like we have a companies called IBM, Accenture, HCL. IBM is having more than 100 plus years of experience, 100 years plus old company, but there is no cloud earlier, right? Before Amazon. Got it? Niranjan, Suresh, few of the senior people can confirm here.
Yeah, yes, Chandra, please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, this kind of things we have been observed. So only thing like why Amazon has got popular, they have started and they did their research and they have continued. That's it, nothing else. Amazon also not a kind of cloud service provider or any other IT company earlier, right? Amazon has just started in the year of 1994, and they are not the IT service provider. They are just online book seller. Okay, when they are maintaining that particular website called Amazon.com, they also have issues. Sometimes that application is consuming more resources. Sometimes it's giving an idle resource. To maintain that, to automate that, these are the two people has been invented this technology called Amazon Web Services. We'll go in detail about everything. Okay, and we have in the competitors in the market like in Amazon, Azure, Google Cloud, okay, and few of the other vendors as well. But coming to the Amazon, it's having more than 60% of the market share right now. Okay, you can say this is the market leader at the moment. Right now, to learn this technology, you no need to install anything in your laptop. You just need to create your account. That also Amazon is giving a free option. So how many people is aware of it? At least how many people are not aware of it? Lavanya, did you aware of this? Just go this URL aws.amazon.com/free.
Yes, sir.
I'm just giving this URL in the chat window. Okay, so
Yes,
try
sir.
to create your account, not immediately, at least by next class. It's required either debit card or credit card, and you have to provide all your details are accurate, like your mobile number and all other stuff like your PIN code and everything, so that Amazon is giving an account, but it's not a completely free, guys. It is in a conditional free. For everything, there are some limits. Once you cross that limit, it will be chargeable. Those you can refer it here. This is the page. Okay. So you don't need to go in any specific requirements in your laptop. Nothing. You just need a laptop with internet connectivity. That's it. We should be able to learn this technology. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah. Coming to the course, we'll complete at least 40 hours. This course has been designed, and you'll get it the yeah, I think this is the one. The course content Venkat will share with you now. I'll forward with him. Then after that, what are the things we are going to cover? How many topics we are going to cover? This is the content for everything we have in our presentations. We are going to share with you across all the course documentation as well. And this is the document list which we have prepared to cover everything and across all the services whatever we are going to talk about. Like let's suppose in EC2 is a service. Here, what are the topics we are going to cover within that? More than that, I'll be sending a documentation. And certifications, if anybody is targeting to clear the certifications also, I've prepared some information. I'll be sharing this kind of information also to you guys to prepare certifications also. Okay. Now I would like to hear from you guys. Is there any questions or anything from you guys?
Okay, Chandra, I have a question.
If you want me to connect, show me something in a very first day, I think it is you'll get it more info. You can't be able to focus. So then I can showcase something like to launch an instance also if required. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, since the session is AWS admin, and I still not getting like what is admin versus architect here?
Yeah, so both are same, I can say. But if you have a lot of experience, number of years of experience, you'll not be placed as a kind of admin in the beginning days, right? So if you have a 10 plus years of experience or 12 years more than that, you will name it as a solution architect. But here you have to maintain some other things, like you have to provide a solution to the customer, right?
But do you have an admin concept in AWS?
Sorry?
Do you have an admin concept in AWS?
Not like that, but few companies is maintaining there is a cloud admin roles where people is having 4 years, 3 years of experience, like a kind of system admin, right? Here they will call it as a cloud administrator. There is a role.
Okay. Yeah.
When you have a lot of experience, you have to present the solution to the customer. In previous days, when we work for infra, like on-premise infrastructure, customer doesn't know anything. We have to provide a solution and we have to build it, right? But nowadays, customers also got some basic knowledge about the services, how it works, because everybody started working on or learning the things at a time, the cloud. So you should be able to provide a solution to the customer, right? Because earlier, whatever we say, that is the final, and the customer is going to arrange. But here, I think in your experience, you never talk about charges, correct? If it is an on-premise, right? We just say we need this mission. Customer will go and buy the mission and make it ready. But here, as an engineer, when you are trying to work, you will be able to say how much customer is going to pay for that. What kind of service you are going to introduce to the customer. At the end, how much is going to pay. Everything will come to know. And customer also will come to know. Right?
Okay.
So you have to provide a solution with a cost reduction solutions as well. And as well as when you provided any solution, you have to go with an alternative also. Let's suppose like plan A or plan B kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, then probably this might be the architect. Okay.
Role. Yeah. So when you are dealing this, it comes under solution architect role.
And you are going to be explaining about all the services, right? Like whatever they are.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So which means it's going to be like architect, not the like admin.
Yes, exactly. So We are going to name this also as a solution architect associate level.
Okay, okay, yeah, got you.
Yeah. I think you understand now. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions from anyone?
Sir, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Knowing Linux is must before learning
No,
AWS.
not required. What I'll do, I'll take 1 or 2 days session to make you understand the Linux. Don't worry about that.
Okay, sir.
Because I'm not convincing you. If you see in the market, we have a storage engineers, we have a Linux admins, we have a Windows admins, we have a testing engineers, right? We have a network engineers. Everybody is learning. It is not an added advantage only for Linux admins, right? We should know how to see the command line, how we can work, how to run some particular services, how to do the
Oh,
basic troubleshoots. That I'll help you.
okay.
Okay. And
Okay, sir.
parallelly, I'll give a kind of document also, the pure Linux document. So that will
Mm.
help you. Don't worry.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, sir. This is Bharat.
Yes, Bharat, go ahead.
Yeah. I have a small doubt. So right now I am Java developer. So I have 3 years experience. So is it right time to move to AWS?
Yes. Maybe you may get a chance to move immediately or not, but whenever you would like to move, you should know something about the technology, right? So if you have a time, just learn it
Yeah.
and just reading the things. Whenever you require, you can showcase that you have that skill. And you can complete the certification also, solution architect or maybe an AWS developer associate. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
you're able to hear me now?
Is it 3 years experience? Is it okay for AWS?
Sorry?
Yeah. 3
Okay.
experience is moved to AWS. Is it good for?
I didn't get you, sir. Can you just repeat, please? Experience?
Yeah, I have 3 years experience. So is it
Or
good time to move to AWS? 3 years experience is good.
experience is not a matter how much knowledge you have, right? And you have a basic understanding of the IT industry, how it works, and you know one technology. That will help you understand. Based on your profile, is there any requirement? Then definitely they will be able to hire you. When you completed your graduation?
Yeah, 17.
17. Okay, it's almost 4 years now. More than 4 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Any other questions from anyone? No problem. Yeah. Ramesh, Kumar, Bharat, Sandeep, Raju. Any other questions from anyone, guys?
I have no questions on my side.
Yeah, thank you. So guys, I just stop it because I don't want to give a more info on the very first day so that you'll get confused. Okay, so this is the AWS console. In general, as a Sandeep, so have you tried to create AWS instance or any other cloud instance as of now?
I haven't tried.
Okay, so now tell me if someone asked you to build one of the Linux engineer in your previous experience, the previous environment, how much time you needed to build a new instance, like new VM?
For the new VM, you have a templates. It will take less time.
How much
Without
time?
templates, anything, it will take nearly 1 hour for set up the network and IPs.
Okay. So, but here I'll be able to showcase, I'll be able to show you right now, within 2 minutes, I'll be able to build the instance. max to max. The OS also will get installed. Things are getting ready immediately.
In the AWS, right?
Yes. Okay. I can show you now.
Okay.
If required. If not, we'll see at the very first time. Okay, let me complete this also. Let's suppose this is a place, guys. So Amazon will work on a region basis. So we have 24 regions across the globe. I'm in the North Virginia right now. Okay. So in this case, if I would like to launch any servers, this is the dashboard. Here I can see the instances. Right. If I would like to launch a new instance, we'll call it as a VM. So just launch instance. Here we have to select the AMI. So you don't need to bring your CD or any other OS image. Everything is ready. Okay. So here I'm going to select my OS image, and here there are predefined templates like CPU and memory. We have to select any one. Here I'm going to suggest to use only T2 Micro because that only will work for you free. If you selected anything, that will be chargeable in the beginning. Now here you have to give how many number of servers you require, because at a time you can launch number of. So I'm just going with only one, and here I will be selecting 1A is a location. I'll try to explain slowly in detail slowly. Here, how much size of the storage you require based on the OS. I just selected that. Here we can give n number of names to the server, that will call it as a tags. Now security group, I have created a security group with SSH and all the traffic. Review and launch. This is the review page. Here I'm trying to create a new instance. That's it. I just initiated now. Here the one is getting launching. I'm just giving a name of demo server. I just initiated. You will be able to see the date and time also when you initiated this. Okay. Now within 2 minutes is the max. I don't think so it's required 2 minutes also. I just done it very quickly. We name it as a demo server. It is in a pending state right now. It will come up in a minute. The OS launching and everything will be done. You don't need to do anything other than this. Okay. Now it is launching. You can see here status like initiating. So this is a one. And if you try to compare the previous examples, previous environment, like whatever you have, every time we have to get the IP address from the network team and we have to assign it. But here we haven't talked to anyone else because this is an on demand. You don't need to talk to anyone. You can directly initiate the server launch. It was done. I've copied a IP address also. Just took it. Here we have to give it an IP address. But in the background, for the password, I have generated some keys. I'll be using that key. So this key, it will act as a password. That's it. Okay, I'm able to log in. Just a minute. Uptime is the command from when this machine is running. So it shows 1 minute. I just launch. Clear now? Lavanya, Niranjan, everyone. So don't require so much of time to build any instance.
Yes, sir. But the command, how it works, I have no idea.
See, for any instance, like your laptop, you have a username and password, like administrator, and you'll give a password, right? Yes. And later on, you will create your user ID and you'll give a password. Similarly, for all Linux machines or Windows machines, we have some default username. For Windows, we have a default username is administrator, and for Linux machine, we have a password, user called root. Okay. So for that, we have to generate a password. Instead of generating the password, here we have to generate some keys. that key, it will act as a password. I'll help you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions from anyone?
No.
Okay. So I think we are good to go ahead, guys. So whoever is required any help, try to reach out to me or Venkat. Okay, and we can help you out. Hope everybody is having an email ID for who has coordinated with you for these things. Do you have this email ID or mobile number? Yes or no? Please, guys, try to respond.
Who's sir? Venkat's email and mobile number?
Okay, I'm sharing my number here.
Yeah.
Okay, please be in touch with me. Just refer that I have attended a demo yesterday, like that. Okay. So how do you got the meeting invite? That's what I'm talking about. So anyway, no problem.
Venkat sent us the invite.
Right. So I'm just saying, just give your feedback to Venkat and try to reach out to him so that he'll help you to proceed further.
Sure.
Okay. Sure. By any chance he's not picking the call, just call me. If I'm not picking the call, talk to Venkat. Okay, first contact point should be Venkat. Try to reach him. By any chance, if you don't have a number or something like that, then only just give me a call. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone. Still, I will be available for next 5 minutes if you have any questions. Whoever is feel like you don't have any questions, let's skip the class for today and we can talk to and finish your formalities, and we'll start from tomorrow.
Oh,
and anybody is
thank you.
required only in a weekend batch or anything also, just let me know. We have a weekend batch as well or weekdays batch as well.
Thank
So
you, Chandra.
weekends it will work only on Saturday, Sunday, 8 to 11 p.m. India time. Yeah, thank you, Ranjan. Thank you. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.